When I actually got to college, it was a real dope experience. You know, it definitely taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about my different abilities, my different likes, my interests, you know what I mean, and where I was definitely headed for the future. You know, going to college, it definitely made me focus on a real skill that I have, and that's my writing abilities. You know, that was something that I definitely learned more about as far as like things that I was skilled at in writing and having a love for that and knowing all the different possibilities that come along with that and having that skill, you know what I mean, in society and media can definitely take you a long way, you know what I mean? And as a result of that, you know what I mean, I became a published author with more books coming down the pipeline. So I definitely take the writing real serious. And, you know, being in a college setting definitely allowed me to get to know other people, you know, take on a liking of just being around other people, networking, meeting different professors, learning about different theories, and taking those theories and making them practical. You know what I'm saying? I think another one of the great things or experiences that I had going through college was my college was sort of like theory and practice. It was like sort of like theory and practice, whereas whatever you learned in the classroom, you had to pretty much operate and be on an internship, you know what I mean, in the community at a community-based organization. So pretty much putting into practice whatever theory you was learning in the classroom. So for instance, like case management, you know what I mean, counseling. That was like one of the themes or the focuses of one of the semesters. It was 8 different semesters. So I pretty much had to go into a community-based organization, a CBO, work with a client for pretty much the entire semester and build a case management counseling relationship with all the different skills, the theories that I was learning in class and applying it to the actual situation. And I had a supervisor, a manager who pretty much assisted me, gave me guidance, and pretty much graded me on my performance throughout the semester and being an intern at that particular organization. So even outside of the classroom, I was building different skills and building that hands-on experience. The hands-on experience was one of the greatest things that I accumulated while being in college, you know, actually being in the classroom, but also being connected directly to the populations and the different community-based organizations, you know what I mean? Because my college, the whole focus was human services, you know what I mean? So I turned out to be a great human service provider, you know what I mean? A change agent in the community, you know? So having that college experience just made me stronger and stronger and pretty much helped me carve out my destiny, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. And I continue to do that even to this day in the community, you know? I'm still a driving force in my community, you know what I mean? Even outside of all the lowlifes, the polo, you know? Since I was 14, you know what I mean? That's when I first became a peer counselor. So ever since then, I've been a part of my community, being a driving force, reaching back, helping the youth, you know what I mean? Providing guidance for them and letting them know that whatever goals you have, stay focused, you know what I mean? Surround yourself with like-minded people who also have different goals and outlooks and people that's on the go, you know? So when you surround yourself with people like that, you know, you stay motivated and your focus stays strong, and you know, you start approaching, you know, your destiny and having that plan of action to pretty much get there. So college was definitely, you know what I mean, another element added to the rack low life, and it definitely, you know what I mean, made me stronger and put me on a different road. Yeah, this is dope. Columbia University. Definitely give you, it gives you that Ivy League collegiate varsity feel. Like just being in this environment. It just like make you think about all the different possibilities, from an educational standpoint, and like just pretty much taking on different challenges in life, man. Like letting your mind think outside of the box. So like being in these type of environments is definitely inspirational, you know what I'm saying? And it definitely makes me reflect back on like when I was in college, when I had the opportunity to take advantage, of going to college and like really much trying to apply myself. And that's ill because like growing up in Brooklyn, New York, like college was definitely, something that wasn't in my plans as a teenager growing up in Brownsville, Brooklyn, and Crownheights, Brooklyn. So as I kept growing and growing, I became, 14, 15, 16. I had sort of, connected myself with some people that had different, visions and outlooks for me. They seen different possibilities for me. And that's sort of like when my wife came into play, We sort of linked up and like just still being a part of the street, And like I said, college was never in my plans or in my future, at least I didn't see it when I was a youngster. Pretty much always seen like universities and people going to college from like looking at shows like The Cosby Show, like A Different World. It's ill because shows like that sort of like connected me visually to like people, going away traveling to different places or different states, to attend college and pursue different, careers and professions. So it was definitely something that inspired me looking at those television shows. But I was running the street, my wife, so my wife decided that it was time for her to sort of like take a different turn in life as far as, getting on course, going to school, getting a degree, practicing a profession, and like, really mastering all the things you want to master in life. So she pretty much gave me a choice. Are we gonna go to school together, or are you gonna remain to be in the street? So I pretty much had to make a choice. I had to make a choice whether I was gonna remain in the street, being affiliated with doing crime, or I was gonna sort of like start to carve out a different direction in life for myself and sort of like start to think futuristically and pretty much life after the crime, So she was like sort of influencing me to like think about things you're gonna be doing after you leave the teenage stages, and that was a great look. So, at that point I decided to, come along with her, go along with her, and we enrolled into college. And at that point I was in pursuit of a bachelor's degree, and at that point is when my life started to like change and go into a different direction, and I started to become a different Raglow and have a different outlook, So that's what it is. Yeah, so my college experience started in the mid '90s, and I stayed focused. I made sure I applied myself. I took advantage of the opportunity, and I just kept driving forward. So, completed all 8 semesters, and I was working towards my bachelor's degree. And I made it to the end along with my wife. And that was like really amazing because she inspired me to even have the motivation to want to even go to college, because like I said earlier, it was something that wasn't on my mind. So when she just put out like, she just told me pretty much, man, you have different options, this is not the only option in life. And I listened to what she was saying, and it definitely showed me a different side of life, So I stayed focused. I completed all semesters, turned in all my projects, all the projects that we used to do each semester. We was required to do like a major paper. It was called a CA, constructive action, And that was like pretty much the study of me being an intern and applying the theory to practice, you know what I mean, for each semester. So I had to do a paper based around the entire experience as well. So yeah, I finished that, and I was able to, you know, take my degree, and you know, I was a professional in, you know, social services, human services, and you know, I started off as a peer counselor, became a case manager, employment specialist, and currently, you know, I'm a career counselor, you know, still working with various populations, you know what I mean, across New York State. You know, just inspiring people, helping them get employment, different vocational opportunities, returning back to school, you know, just finding different careers, entering gateways to different careers, and just providing various information pipelines and things to the youth, you know, the youth, senior citizens, the veteran population, the homeless population, the formerly homeless population. You know, I pretty much provide services, you know, on different levels to various different populations. So, you know, through my college experience, you know, and my hands-on experience through life and being a part of the community, it just made me a stronger person to always know that, you know, helping others and giving back to the community, that's what it's all about, you know what I mean? So I'm just thankful. I thank God that, you know, I took advantage of my college, you know, option. I applied myself, and it turned out pretty well for your boy, you know what I'm saying? So to the kids out there, if you have any desires, any inspirations to go to college, you know, if you feel like that's a path you want to take, do that, you know, pursue that, you know? But just keep in mind that there's 2 D's when it comes to college. 2 D's. It's the degree and it's debt, you know what I mean? You may, you know, inherit both because, you know, coming from the inner cities, we don't really have the financial resources for us to pay for college up front. So, you know, like in my case, I pretty much I got financial aid, I got tap and pell, and I also took out some student loans, you know? So you're gonna accumulate debt, but just make sure it's your main focus and your goal to leave with the degree, you know, because a lot of people into college and they just acquire debt, but they never get a chance to leave with the degree. So just make sure when you enter, your focus and your mindset is on the long run, the longevity in it, and making it to the finish line. And that's leaving with the degree. Rack low, rack low. Salute.